One of the big things that people don't really talk about is like the proximity at which a camera chase car has to be behind the person they're chasing. This is about as close as I usually get to a car. Hey guys, I'm Sonia. I am super excited. LA Auto Show called me to help tell some stories about the roads leading up to the LA Auto Show. This is All Road Stories. This is the last event that I have before the LA Auto Show, so we have to make sure that it goes great. Today, we're gonna be doing some suspension work, setting up the new cameras. I have to make sure that I can use it inside the car for interviews, at the show, and everything in between. All right, so funny thing about this wrench, it's actually a memento for my grandpa. It came from the first tool set that I ever got from him. And I also crashed this car when I was 14 years old. I wanted to go hang out with friends and go to a car meet later on that night. It was actually the first time I had even ever driven a car, and then I crashed it. Coincidentally, that was actually the time that I realized, oh my gosh, I actually want to do something in cars. Fast forward a couple years, I was driving to work and I actually broke both my ankles in a car accident. That was my epiphany moment where I was laying in the ER and I realized that I want to be a nurse. It took me a really long time to learn how to walk again, and when I finally did, I had my eye on this manual car and taught myself how to drive stick while I was going to nursing school. And then something bad happened. I ended up breaking my back. Now for the second time in my life, I ended up in a wheelchair. Here I was again. It made me realize that if I can break my back doing something that's safe, then why am I holding myself back from the track and all this other motorsport stuff? I might as well go for it. And I did. About a year after my surgery, I ended up going to my first drift thing and I loved it. A couple events in, one of my friends was like, have you ever tried grip driving? So I went and tried it. I absolutely fell in love, and I ended up doing this video thing with Zeiss, and I was like, this is so cool. I started doing more grip. I started to, get attention from other sponsors and things like that. That is what led me to the camera chase car stuff. This event, I will be doing camera chase car stuff. So anything you see for drift cars and just cool cars on track, we're capturing it. There's so much management that's required though that people don't realize. I have to make sure that I'm managing my car, but I also have to frame the car up and make sure that I have a good shot. One of the big things that people don't really talk about is like the proximity at which a camera chase car has to be behind the person they're chasing. If you take this, for example, right? This is about as close as I usually get to a car. Now, mind you, we're not parked and we're not going straight. We're going through a turn. So not only do I have to time my proximity, I have to also be managing the car. So this is my drift car and this is me. So the drift car is obviously going around a turn, like sideways, right? They're running a traditional drift line. I am not running a traditional race line. So if something happens in front of them or if they slid out, whatever, I don't have a lot of places to go besides their door. This is how a lot of lenses end up dying, because they see gravel and tire and all sorts of things like straight to the lens. So why don't we set you down? I think that's pretty good. All of this is gonna capture all my stories for the All Road series to LA Auto Show. I think it's really cool how LA Auto Show has inserted itself into the center, to the heart of LA car culture. It's a very cultural moment where all these little aspects of LA come together, right? There's cars, so overlanders and imports, and then there's art and music and all these other things that always surround and just kind of lead back into automotive. All in all, it's just this big cultural movement, and it all stems back to the LA Auto Show, and very excited for that. I'm Sonia, and I really hope that you got to get to know me a little bit better and follow along my story. I will be making sure that you guys see all the other stories that lead to the LA Auto Show. So for more, make sure you like, subscribe, and do all the things. But until the next time, peace.